Good morning, students of class 10. Welcome back to the e-classes now. Let us continue our lesson in history, the making of our global world. So now, India and the Great Depression, 3.5. So in our previous class, we have talked about the effect of the Great Depression around the world. Even it had an effect in India. We have talked about the urban dwellers were less affected than the rural farmers and peasants because they produced for the world market and the prices of food grains crashed. So now let's continue. Now I have written over here 7 points now. Go through it clearly. Listen carefully when I explain. Number 1, in India, peasants producing for the world market, especially the farmers, landlords, in the rural areas were the worst sufferers. They were the worst hit, most sufferers, because their product or whatever they produced could not be sold in the world market as the prices came down due to depression. The countries, many countries around the world, they had no money to purchase food grains. So the food grains were glutted in the world market. Number 2, consider the jute producer of Bengal. Take the example of jute producers of Bengal. What happened to them? They grew jute in Bengal, that is the state where jute is grown in abundance. So the farmers grew jute and it was processed in the factory for export. The jute was processed in the factory and gunny bag, you know the bag, sack, to put grains. Gunny bag, that's why. Gunny means for export in the form of gunny bag. Gunny means grain bags. Gunny bags. The gunny bags were prepared or manufactured in the industries from raw jute, and the gunny bags were exported to other countries to keep the food grains. But that export declined. As the export collapsed, as the export came down, collapsed, the prices of raw jute crashed. The prices of the raw jute, the farmers, they grow raw jute, that prices fell down, crashed, decreased to the lowest level, more than 60%. The prices came down more than 60%. How the farmers will survive now? You see that and here. Peasants and farmers in Bengal, jute producers in Ghana, we are talking about, not food grains. We are talking about jute growers. In other parts of the Indian subcontinent, the farmers also borrowed money from the money lenders, from the banks. The rich farmers, they had their own capital. The poor farmers, they cannot go to the bank, they had no collateral. So they used to go to the money lender, hoping to grow more and produce more for more income. So peasants, we are talking about the jute growers of Bengal. Peasants who borrowed in the hope of better income. The peasants, they borrowed money from money lenders, some from banks, but many from money lenders. In the hope of better income, faced ever lower prices. The prices of jute crashed. How will they repay the loan they had taken from the money lender, and fell deeper and deeper into the debt trap. Debt trap. They cannot pay. So next year, again they borrowed the money, hoping to make up for the loss of the last year. Again the same thing happens. So deeper and deeper and deeper. And finally they had to sell the lands. They had to sell the property. And they were left with nothing. That's called debt trap. They were devastated. They were ruined, you can say that. They faced, especially the peasants, jute growers, They fell deeper and deeper into the debt trap. That's a trap. They borrowed money from money lenders, and money lenders charged them high interest. And in the bank, per year, interest is charged per year, but the money lenders every month. So how would they pay? So they fell into the debt trap. So now, across India, not only in Bengal, all around, in every state of India, or across India, peasants' indebtedness. Indebtedness means they had borrowed money from the money lenders or from the banks. Indebtedness increased. They used up their savings, whatever money they have saved, they used up, and they sold property. They started selling property, jewelry, ornaments, and precious metal to meet their expenses, especially gold and silver. They started selling those golds and ornaments, jewelries, which they had saved for a long time, from a long time. In these depression years, India became an exporter of precious metals, mainly gold, notably gold. So India exported gold. How? The British charged high taxes. People could not pay the tax. They had to submit the gold for the tax, and the Britishers collected the gold from the peasants as tax, and the gold was taken to America to repay their loan. The Britishers or colonizers had borrowed loan from America, and they supplied gold to other countries wherever they have taken money from, and they kept some in their country also. So where the gold has gone, it has gone to the world, around the world, which was kept by the Indians for a long time. Now the gold came out from their houses. They paid in gold. The taxes they paid in gold. So in the depression years, India became an exporter of precious metals, mainly gold. So the famous economist John Maynard, the name of an economist, John Maynard, this economist thought that Indian gold export, the gold from Indian gold export promoted means helped global economic recovery. Global economic recovery was possible due to the gold export from India. Export of precious metal from India helped the recovery of the global economic depression. So this much for today. We'll meet in the next class and continue our lesson. More are there about India, how urban dwellers are less affected than the rural peasants. We'll talk about that in our next class about India. So this much for today. Thank you for watching the video. Stay safe. Continue watching the online portal, because every day we are proceeding part by part. So do not waste your time. Time is precious. You know it very well. You are wise enough to do that much, I think. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you for watching.